Welcome to the Full-Time FBA Show. In each episode, it's our goal to help you turn part-time hours into a full-time income selling almost anything on Amazon. And now, your hosts of the show, Stephen and Rebecca Smotherman.
Welcome to episode number 243 of the Full-Time FBA Show, and today we are celebrating our 5th poddiversary. Yes, that's a word, poddiversary. It is the 5th year we have celebrated podcasting, and I'm so excited about it. And the topic for today, how much should you pay yourself in your Amazon FBA business? This is a fun topic, and to talk with this and to celebrate our poddiversary is my wife, Rebecca. How you doing, Rebecca?
I'm doing great. You are so excited right now. I can just hear it coming through in your voice. You are really excited about our poddiversary. And this is also an exciting topic. So I'm really glad that we're going to get into that on this episode of the Full-Time FBA Show. When sellers first start selling on Amazon, they probably picture that selling on Amazon will one day help them to start paying some bills. Possibly help you get out of debt, maybe give you more freedom in your life so that you can travel, help you save for retirement or something like that. But then as you start finding a little success on Amazon, a lot of sellers start to realize that the more Amazon profits that you can reinvest back into more inventory, then the more money you can possibly make in the long run.
That's right. The more an Amazon seller spends on inventory and expert training, and that gives just increased chances for more profits that they can potentially make. And the more money that we spend on adding tools and new resources, that will also help us to make more money, right? But we actually started selling on Amazon to actually make money. So when does the actual money-making part of being an Amazon seller start happening? Well, we're definitely going to dive into that today.
For most Amazon sellers, they start working in their Amazon business around one of two times in their life. Either they have a full-time job that they want to leave, or they've been forced to leave a full-time job and they need a replacement source of income. Sure, there's other situations, but those are the two most common that we've observed. So obviously, these Amazon sellers want to actually start making some good money via Amazon so they can be their own boss. But when can you actually start taking a paycheck in this whole Amazon reseller business?
Well, let's first walk through the situation where the new Amazon seller has a full-time job, but they want to eventually leave. There's a few things you need to consider when figuring out your Amazon take-home salary. The first thing is answering the question, can you draw a salary and still be able to reinvest in your business? With helping coach people to make a full-time income selling on Amazon, we talk about how, quote, quitting your day job too soon can really be the worst thing you can do. We dive deep into this strategy in our course, Next Level Amazon. You can find out more information about that, fulltimefba.com/next level. And so with that, we understand that a much better plan than quitting your day job too soon would be to continue to take a full-time salary while you're slowly growing your Amazon business. And the longer you can keep your full-time job, the more funds you'll have to reinvest in your Amazon business from your Amazon profits into more inventory, some expert training, and necessary tools.
It's more complicated than this, but the simple way to explain it is this way. At some point, after reinvesting all your Amazon profits back into your Amazon business, you need to pivot how you use your Amazon profits in such a way that you can start taking a paycheck. We recommend taking a 10% cut of your profits for your first paycheck, but continue to reinvest the other 90% back into your Amazon business. Then once you're comfortable with that, give yourself a raise and take 20% of your Amazon profits while reinvesting the other 80%. I think you can see where we're going with this. Once you comfortably pivot to that change, then you can give yourself a raise again, and this time take 30% of the profits as a paycheck and reinvest the remaining 70%. So from there, you can decide if you want to keep giving yourself a raise again and again by taking that higher percentage of the Amazon profits. And then once you get to the point where you can start to pay yourself and still keep the same or more of a momentum in sourcing, then you can plan your exit from your full-time job.
Yeah, you might have just heard Rebecca say, once you get to the point where you can start paying yourself and still keep the same or more momentum going of sourcing, then you can plan to exit your full-time job. And you might wonder, wait, is that even possible? And we're here to tell you, yes. That's what we teach with our Full-Time FBA coaching program. I mean, every coaching session, we cover different strategies and skills on how to successfully grow your Amazon business with a strong foundation that you can realistically start to build wealth upon. Okay, so that's a simple version of how you can start paying yourself if you have a full-time job. But what's the plan if you're currently out of a job or you have a part-time job going on? Well, it's going to basically be a similar plan, but the timing will be just a little bit longer when it comes to accomplishing that goal. If you're out of a job right now, you've got some savings to live off of while you're growing your Amazon business, then you can do that. Live off your savings while wisely reinvesting everything back into your Amazon business. Now, obviously, savings don't last forever. So decide for yourself what is the limit of savings that you want to dip into and plan accordingly. Then you can start that transition we talked about earlier about paying yourself 10% and reinvesting 90% and slowly giving yourself a raise over time so that you're still growing your Amazon business while at the same time increasing your take-home pay.
Now, if you're currently unemployed and have very little savings, then that will be a longer path to take, but it's not an impossible path. First, we would suggest finding a part-time job as soon as possible to help bring in some money to make that road a little easier for you to transition yourself to eventually taking a full-time income from your Amazon profits. In fact, your number one job right now needs to be finding that part-time job. And then we would suggest reinvesting as much as you can back into your Amazon business as long as you can. And after that, then start that 10% paycheck, 20% paycheck, and so on. And then do that transition as you start to get comfortable as an Amazon seller.
Yeah, the main goal here is to grow your Amazon business via the replens model. Well, we've said it a million times on this podcast, but to really make a full-time income selling on Amazon, you need a steady stream of inventory to sell on Amazon. Inventory that you can find again and again to sell again and again. Inventory that you know where to buy from consistently and you know it's going to sell consistently. And so if you're still stuck sourcing via garage sales or thrift stores or clearance sections of local or online stores, you really can't scale your business up to make a full-time income and be comfortable with that. I mean, garage sales, thrift stores, clearance aisles, they're a great place to start your Amazon business and get some momentum going, but it's not what's finally going to provide that type of level of longevity of success.
Now, we'd love to help you no matter where you are in this process of starting to make a full-time income via selling on Amazon. And that's our number one focus of the Full-Time FBA coaching program. So if you're interested in learning more about our 12-month-long coaching plan and whether it's right for you, then go to fulltimefba.com/coaching. We would love to show you the best way to both start and grow your Amazon business toward the path of making a full-time income with selling on Amazon. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of the Full-Time FBA Show. As a reminder, you can find the show notes for this episode along with all of the links we've mentioned at fulltimefba.com/243 because this is episode number 243. And again, happy poddiversary to the Full-Time FBA Show for our 5th poddiversary. Yes. 5 years of podcasting.
We love doing this. We love hanging out with you every week to give you a different strategy or tip to grow your Amazon business. And, you know, we're not asking you to give us gifts or send us gifts in the mail or anything. But if you do have a desire to give us a poddiversary gift, we would love a honest review on whichever platform you're currently listening to this podcast. So go and leave us a review, give us your thoughts, give us as many stars as possible. We would love that. And celebrate our poddiversary together. That would be awesome.
All right. So join us again next week when we're going to be talking about whether or not Amazon is a get-rich-quick scheme. I think you probably know by now the answer to this question, but maybe you don't. Maybe you're new to the podcast. Maybe you're new to Amazon selling. Maybe you're new to our opinion on these things. So join us to find out whether or not Amazon is a get-rich-quick scheme. And the answer is no. But join us to find out why.
That sounds awesome. We'll see you next week on the Full-Time FBA Show.
That's all for this episode of the Full-Time FBA Show. So head over to fulltimefba.com/podcast, where you'll find the show notes and links from this episode. While you're there, subscribe to our newsletter where you'll get several free downloads of our popular and helpful Amazon FBA resources. Now, take action on what you've learned today so you can find success at turning part-time hours into a full-time income with Amazon FBA.